So this is Matt with Mel Express Radio. I have with me Jay of Gizmachi. How are you tonight, man?
Matt, I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be here, and this is going to be a fun one, I can tell.
Absolutely, glad to have you. The band's sophomore album, Omega Kaleid, was released March 12th. What kind of feedback have you since received?
Well, it's actually Kaleid, Omega Kaleid. I knew, everybody in the band knew this was going to happen because it's the way of the spelling, but it's basically the first half of Kaleidoscope. So I was like, that looks kind of cool like that, but it seems like the reception has been pretty good. I know it's been so long. A lot of people either forgot about us or, I know some people got pissed that, it took us so long to come out with this album, but it seems like for the most part, a lot of people have been saying it was worth the wait. If it would have come out any sooner, it wouldn't be the record that it is. So, obviously we're upset that it took this long, but we're happy with the final product, and we think, for the most part, it seems like the reception is really, really good.
Now, I know it's been 16 years. Within that time frame, did you see the band getting back together and writing and recording again, or did you maybe was it planned before and was it just pushed out, or?
Yeah, the majority of the music was written, I'd say, in 06 and 07. We had a couple of, I think two of the songs on the album were written in their infancy, back during the time of the imbuing, which is kind of cool. A couple of the older songs we kind of reworked a little bit. But the album was supposed to come out either late 07 or sometime in 08, and then obviously with Jimmy hurting his wrist on tour, we had to go with a couple fill-in drummers for a while, and then that kind of fell apart. Jimmy's wrist was still effed up. Can I swear on here?
Yes.
Okay. So Jimmy's wrist was still messed up for a while, but we kind of really didn't know what was going to happen. We were kind of like, what do we do? For anybody that's listened to our band, you'll know that the drums are a very important part of our music. It's not easy to play the stuff, and it's not easy to learn the stuff. So it was hard finding a drummer or drummers to kind of come in and take over for a while Jimmy was getting better. We didn't even know if he was going to be able to, So after a while, it was just like, man, what are we going to do? So we kind of put everything on the shelf, hoping we'd be able to come back, eventually. And then in 2010, Jimmy's wrist got better. We started recording the tracks. And then throughout the next couple of years, stuff was getting recorded. And then obviously the Kickstarter campaign in 2012. But then as the years kept going on after that, we just, I'm trying to choose my words correctly, but it came to the point where the vocals needed to get finished, and it wasn't happening. So that's why I know one of your questions probably coming up is about Bjorn. How did he get in the fold? But that's where we kind of made the decision. We're going to have to go with another option, another plan.
How was it working with Bjorn of Soilwork, and also I know you brought in who was it? Larry Mitchell of the Billy Squier Band.
Yeah. So I'll do the Bjorn thing first. When we kind of collectively made the decision in the band to, go choose another option as far as the vocals, we obviously became kind of friendly with the Soilwork guys on Ozfest in 05. And, we kind of just said, what about Bjorn? Let's see if he'd be interested in it. So we contacted him, and, he said, send me a couple tracks. I'll check them out, and, I'll let you guys know what I think. And literally, it didn't take long. I want to say minutes before he responded to the email. It was like, I'm in. This is awesome stuff. Let's do it. And then obviously, everything after that as far as the vocals kicking ass. But with Larry Mitchell, I have this here. This is his solo record that came out in 1990. It is the reason that I asked for a guitar when I was right before my 15th birthday. So he is one of the biggest influences musically as far as the guitar and just as far as starting to play. So I became friends with him a couple years ago because of one of the YouTube shows I do. And I was having a hard time kind of coming up with getting the start of a solo for the single Look What I've Become. And I'm like, man, maybe I could just have somebody, do a guest solo on it. So I reached out to Larry and sent him the track, and I kind of had the idea then, like, let's do a duel. Let's, go back and forth. Like, you'll go, then I'll go, then you that type of thing. Like an old, 80s, early 90s kind of guitar battle, duel, whatever. And, as soon as he sent back what he had, I was like, okay, now I know what I have to do. It kind of, like, inspired me again, to come up with what I had. So that's a very cool thing with me. It's one of those, things that you don't put on your bucket list because you don't think it would happen, like having one of your musical idols on your record. It's a very weird thing, but obviously very cool, and I'm very thankful that he was willing to do it.
And what do you see right now for plans of the band when it's safe enough to tour?
The original plan over the past, handful of years was kind of like, we're just going to put the album out and see what happens. There wasn't really a plan to tour because it's been so long, so many things have changed with us, personally and stuff like that. I have 2 kids now. Mike, the other guitar player, has a kid. It's been 16 years since that, like you said before, since the first record came out. But I will say that now, like, the buzz has been pretty good, and it's kind of gotten a little bit of a fire under our butts. But we don't know. I mean, I guess the only way when it really happened would be like, maybe a festival either in Europe or some festivals in Europe or the U.S. when everything kind of gets back. So maybe there's a chance in 2022. We've kind of not discussed it at length because a lot of things would have to line up. Obviously a vocalist. We would love to do it with Bjorn. Obviously he has a million things going on. So that's an option. We haven't discussed it with him yet, so I don't want to get myself in trouble here. But we would obviously love for that to happen. But obviously he has a million things going on, so we don't know. We're just kind of playing it by ear, seeing what happens. If anything comes up, we would obviously love to, but we got to kind of, as my father would say, play it by ear and see what happens.
In the past 16 years since the band has been active, how much have you seen change? You mentioned earlier that really one of the first major touring festivals he did at Ozfest, that was back when they were promoting, buy the album and meet the band.
Yeah, I mean, obviously social media is the main aspect now. I know talking to some of the industry people, like from instrument companies and stuff like that, like they look at your social media presence more than if you're going to be going on tour. Like the social media thing is more important, which I totally understand, and obviously, when the Imbuing came out in 05, it was kind of the tail end of like, everything kind of started to, go away from CDs, but it was kind of like the download stuff, obviously Napster and everything was before that, but it just became really easily accessible and the excitement got taken out. I remember, I'm 43 now, right? And I remember being a kid and, one of your favorite band's albums was coming out, and you would skip school on a Tuesday to get. It was like an event. It was a serious thing that you were so excited for. You go to the store to buy the CD, you get home, and even before that with like tapes and records, right? And you just sit on your bed and you just look at the album cover, the artwork, the liner notes. You're reading the lyrics with the album, and you just kind of take it all in because it was an experience. And now with everything being so accessible, I use Spotify. That's where I listen to, I want to say almost 100% of my music, so I'm guilty of it too. Mm-hmm. But I think it kind of takes the experience out of, like really taking an album in or a record in. And, now it's like, oh, some band you never heard of came out with a new album. Like, oh, let me check it out. You get 30 seconds in, like, I don't really like it. I'll move on to something else. Where you're not giving stuff a chance. When years ago when you bought that record, you were going to take the time to either to really listen to it and like it, or listen to it and not like it. You were going to take that album in because of what it was and of the time. And now it's not like that anymore. I think it's a shame. It really is. But again, that's what it is now. So you really, you either go with it or you don't. And, that's where our stuff is released right now, obviously, on digital. The CDs are coming. They got held up. But, it's just a different time. And what are you going to do? You either do it or you don't,
And obviously now with the band back together, what are your plans for the next few years now?
Well, obviously I mentioned, the possibility of maybe doing some festivals and something next year. But we're actually kind of thinking about, this was, like I said before, this was most likely going to be our last, our swan song. We were going to put this album out, and that was going to be it. But like I said, with the buzz going, like everybody's kind of like, wants to do a little more now. So maybe we're thinking in the next year, doing not another full-length album, but something in the vein of, like Dream Theater or a Meshuggah Eye or 2112 from Rush, something like that, like putting like a 20-something minute long-ass song where we just go crazy. Maybe some cover songs with it, something like that. We're kind of thinking about doing something like that. But, I've started to write, everybody's got their little, noise sound recorder app in their phone. So I have about 3 or 4 riffs already, kind of like, just noodling every once in a while. Send it to the guys, and I know I sent one to Mike, and he's like, dude, that's the perfect start of a song. So it seems like we already have the intro to something that we haven't, done yet or worked on yet. So there's definitely going to be more, I'm just glad that after this much time, there are people that are still interested. We didn't know what to expect. We were like, are we going to put this thing out and no one's going to give a shit? So it's cool.
Was that how you and your bandmates kept in touch during the pandemic the past year? Was recording over the phone and everything, or?
It was more, we're all friends. Like, my Jimmy, the drummer, he's one of my closest friends. He's my brother-in-law. And obviously Chris and Mike, we're still very close. So it's not like when we talk, it's not just about the band, but it was more along the lines of, the majority of the conversations that we've had was about, the release of this record and kind of like working out which singles are going to be next and that type of thing. But, we haven't really, like I said, done too much as far as new music, except for a couple riffs here and there that I've written. I don't know if anybody else has worked on anything. So, like I said, we've kind of, not gone into detail with each other about what's next as far as music. Just kind of like, hey, it would be cool to do this. And then the other guys are like, yeah, that would be kind of cool. And then that's basically where it stops. So I know, we have the next single launches, I believe the first week of May. I don't want to give out which one it is yet, but there's going to be a music video for it and everything. And I'm sure once that comes out, that'll probably be the final single for the record. Once that comes out, we'll probably start talking about, what's next as far as releasing music. So we'll see where that goes.
So right now, if there's really nothing that we've gone over that you like to throw in, go right ahead.
No, I'm just happy that people are giving a shit. Like I said, that was one worry that we had is like, man, it's been 16 years. A lot of people were pissed about the Kickstarter thing, which we totally understand. And I've been joking lately, it said it was 2012's Album of the Year. Well, it was a typo. We meant to put 2021. I'm joking, but, it's the only way to get away with it. But, we're definitely apologetic over the fact that it's taken that long. But it's not like that was our choice. There was a lot of things that happened. And maybe we were a little overzealous about, let's put it out this, 2012, when we still had a lot of work to do on it. So again, it sucks that it's taken that long, but it seems like, virtually everybody has said like it was worth the wait, And I think this album coming out now, it actually, in my opinion, it's better. It's better that it's coming out now. I think the music, the heavy metal scene kind of needs this album more now than it did, whether it be 8 years ago, 13 years ago, whatever the hell would have been. I think it fits better now,
So really my last question I have for you is, what was really the driving force throughout all those years that really just pushed you to get Gizmachi back together?
The music. Obviously every band thinks that their music is good, but, we'd be showing other people some of the stuff, some of the demos, and we knew it was good. Obviously we all love the imbuing, but we just feel like this album is definitely a step up even the production. I know Mark Lewis mixed the record, did a phenomenal job with it. We just feel like this album is definitely more of of what we are musically. There's nothing on this album that I would show anybody anything on this album and be proud of it. I really would. I think I could say the same for the rest of the guys. It's just, it really is who we are, and we're very proud of it. And that's it. We think it kicks ass.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. Best wishes to you, your family, your friends, the Gizmachi camp during this time, and I hope you guys can come out on top when COVID's all said and done and the metal community can come back together.
All right, Matt. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Cheers.